Now let us delve into the depths of this concept, for it is not merely a phrase of encouragement, but a fundamental truth of the universe itself. You see, in this vast cosmos, in this grand tapestry of existence, you are both the creator and the creation. Your journey, your struggles, your aspirations, they are all part of a divine plan, a plan that you yourself have set in motion. When I say, please keep going, you're so close, I am not speaking of a physical distance or a tangible goal. No, my dear friends, I am speaking of a state of consciousness, a realm of being that exists within you at this very moment. It is a state of perfection, of completion, of absolute fulfillment. And you are so much closer to it than you can possibly imagine. Consider for a moment the nature of your desires. Whatever it is that you seek, be it love, abundance, health, or success, know that these desires are not random occurrences. They are not whims or fancies that float aimlessly in your mind. No, they are seeds planted by the divine within you, seeds that contain within them the very essence of their fulfillment. When you feel a burning desire for something, when you can taste it, touch it, feel it in your imagination, know that you are experiencing the end result in a dimension beyond the physical. In that moment of imagining, you are living from the end. You are experiencing the fulfillment of your desire in the only place it can truly exist, in your consciousness. So why, you may ask, do we sometimes feel stuck? Why does it seem that our desires are far from our grasp? The answer, my friends, lies in our perception of time and space. We have been conditioned to believe in a linear progression of events, in a world of cause and effect, where our desires must be pursued, chased, and conquered. But I tell you this, the world you see around you is nothing but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. The events and circumstances of your life are not happening to you, they are happening from you. They are the outpicturing of your consciousness, the manifestation of your dominant thoughts and beliefs. When I urge you to keep going, I am not asking you to struggle or to fight against the current of life. No, I am inviting you to persist in your assumption of the wish fulfilled. I am asking you to continue living from the end, to maintain that feeling of your desire already being a reality. You see, the bridge of incidents that leads to the manifestation of your desire in the physical world is not built by your hands. It is constructed by a power far greater than your conscious mind can comprehend. This power, which some call God, others call the subconscious, and I often refer to as your wonderful human imagination, knows the perfect way to bring about the fulfillment of your desire. Your only task, your sole responsibility, is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live in the end, to experience in your imagination the joy, the satisfaction, the absolute knowing that your desire is already yours. And in doing so, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension, forces that will move heaven and earth to bring about the manifestation of your assumption. Now let us ponder for a moment on the concept of being so close in the world of Chisa. In the realm of physical senses, closeness is measured by distance and time. But in the realm of consciousness, in the dimension of imagination, there is no distance, no time, no separation between you and your desire. In fact, the very existence of your desire is proof of its fulfillment. For how could you desire something if it did not already exist in a dimension beyond the physical? Your desire is a glimpse into the infinite possibilities that exist in the realm of pure potential. It is a call from your future self, inviting you to step into that reality. So when I say you're so close, I am reminding you of this truth, that in consciousness, in the only place that truly matters, you are already one with your desire. You are not moving towards it. You are moving from it. Every moment that you maintain the assumption of your wish fulfilled, you are strengthening that reality, making it more and more dominant in your consciousness until it has no choice but to reflect in your physical experience. My dear friends, understand this, the world of Caesar, the world of physical senses, is always secondary. It is always a reflection, a shadow of your inner world. Your true power lies not in manipulating external circumstances, but in controlling your inner conversations, your mental diet, your assumptions about yourself and the world around you. When you find yourself doubting when the physical world seems to contradict your desire, remember this. What you are seeing is the shadow of past thoughts and beliefs. It is the harvest of seeds planted in the past. But in this moment right now, you have the power to plant new seeds, to assume a new state, to live from the end of your desire fulfilled. The feeling of being close, of being on the verge of a breakthrough, is not something to be sought externally. It is a state to be assumed, a feeling to be inhabited. When you truly understand this, when you grasp the immense power of your imagination, you will realize that you are never far from your desire. You are always just one assumption away from living in the end. Consider the story of the Israelites wandering in the desert for 40 years. They were always just on the outskirts of the promised land, always so close, yet their doubts, their fears, their inability to assume the state of already being in the land of milk and honey kept them wandering. But the moment they assumed the state of being in the promised land, the moment they lived from that assumption, the walls of Jericho fell, and they entered into their inheritance. You, my dear listener, are in a similar position. The promised land of your fulfilled desire is not a physical place, but a state of consciousness, and you are always just one assumption away from entering it. The walls that seem to separate you from your desire are not made of stone and mortar, but of beliefs and assumptions. And they must fall when you assume the state of your wish fulfilled. So I implore you, please keep going. Not in the sense of struggling or striving, but in the sense of persisting in your assumption. Keep going and living from the end. Keep going and feeling the reality of your desire fulfilled. For you are so close, closer than you can possibly imagine. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The fulfillment of all your desires exists within you right now. It is not something to be attained, but something to be realized, to be assumed, to be lived from. And as you persist in this assumption, as you continue to live from the end, you will find that the outer world has no choice but to conform to your inner conviction. Now let us delve deeper into the mechanics of this process, for understanding is the first step towards mastery. When you imagine your desire fulfilled, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are literally rearranging the substance of the universe. You are impressing upon the subconscious mind a new concept of self, a new pattern that it must outpicture in your physical reality. The subconscious mind, you see, is the creative power of the universe. It is God in action. It knows no limitations, no impossibilities. It does not question or analyze. It simply accepts and expresses what is impressed upon it. And what is impressed upon it most dominantly? Your assumptions, your inner conversations, your mental diet. When you consistently assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you make it a habit to live from the end, you are feeding your subconscious mind with the seeds of your desire. And just as a seed planted in fertile soil must grow and express itself, so too must your assumption grow and express itself in your physical reality. But here's where many stumble, where many lose faith and give up just short of the finish line. You see, between the planting of the seed and the harvest, there is often a period of silence, a time when nothing seems to be happening. In the physical world, it may appear as though your desire is still far off, as though your efforts are in vain. This, my dear friends, is the true test of faith. This is where I implore you to keep going, for you are so close. This period of apparent inactivity is not a sign of failure. It is the gestation period of your desire. Just as a pregnant woman does not doubt the reality of the child growing within her womb, even though she cannot see it, so too must you not doubt the reality of your desire growing in the womb of your subconscious mind. During this time, it is crucial that you maintain your assumption. Do not waver, do not doubt, do not give in to the evidence of your physical senses. For remember, what you are seeing in the outer world is the shadow of past thoughts and beliefs. It is the harvest of seeds planted in the past. But in this moment, right now, you are planting new seeds. You are assuming a new state. And if you persist, if you keep going, you will see the manifestation of this new state. Think of it like this. Imagine you are in a dark room and you've just turned on the light. For a moment, your eyes may still see darkness. But does that mean the light isn't on? Of course not. There's simply a brief delay between the action of turning on the light and your eyes adjusting to perceive it. Your manifestation works in much the same way. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, it is done. The light is on. Your only task is to persist in this assumption until your physical senses catch up to this new reality. Now let me share with you a powerful technique to help you persist in your assumption, to keep going when doubt and fear try to creep in. It's a technique I call living in the end, and it's as simple as it is profound. Each night, as you lay down to sleep, and each morning as you wake, take a few moments to imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make this scene as vivid and as real as you possibly can. Engage all your senses. If your desire is for a loving relationship, feel the warmth of your loved one's embrace. If it's for financial abundance, feel the crisp notes in your hands, smell the leather of your new car, hear the congratulations of your friends on your frock. If it's for perfect health, feel the vitality in your body, the ease of movement, the joy of boundless energy. Live in this scene, immerse yourself in it completely. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the absolute knowing that your desire is now a reality. And as you drift off to sleep, or as you start your day, carry this feeling with you. Let it color your perceptions. Let it inform your actions. Let it become your new reality. You see, my dear friends, your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the physical world. By living in the end in your imagination, you are literally experiencing the fulfillment of your desire. And your subconscious mind, accepting this as reality, will work tirelessly to bring about the circumstances that match this new self-concept. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, I've been doing this and still my desire hasn't manifested. How long must I keep going? And to you, I say this: as long as it takes. For time is a construct of the human mind, a convenience for organizing our physical experiences. In the realm of consciousness, in the dimension where all possibilities exist, there is no time. Your desire is not something to be achieved in the future. It is a state to be assumed now. The moment you genuinely assume the feeling of the wish fulfillment, it is done. The seed is planted. And just as you wouldn't dig up a seed to see if it's growing, do not constantly check your physical reality to see if your desire has manifested. Trust in the law, have faith in the process, and keep going. Remember, you're so close. Closer than you can possibly imagine. For in truth, there is no distance between you and your desire. The only separation is in your mind, in your assumption of lack or limitation. The moment you drop these limiting beliefs, the moment you fully assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you will find that your desire has been there all along, waiting for you to claim it. Consider the story of the prodigal son. He left his father's house, wandered in a far country, experienced lack and limitation. But the moment he remembered who he truly was, the moment he assumed his rightful place as the beloved son, he found that the abundance of his father's house had been there all along. He didn't have to earn it or achieve it. He simply had to claim it, to assume it, to live from it. You, my dear listener, are in the same position. The abundance, the love, the health, the success you desire, it's all there in your Father's house, in the realm of pure potential. You don't have to earn it or achieve it. You simply have to assume it, to live from it, to keep going in the absolute conviction that it is already yours. Now let me address another common stumbling block. Many of you may be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't I need to do something to make my desire a reality? And to this I say action is important. But it's not the cause of your manifestation, it's the effect. When you truly assume the state of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take the right actions. These actions will not feel like struggle or effort. They will feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. For you will be acting not from a place of lack or need, but from a place of abundance and fulfillment. Think of it like this. If you were already the person who has what you desire, how would you act? What decisions would you make? How would you carry yourself? This is the kind of action I'm talking about. It's not about forcing yourself to do things you think you should do. It's about naturally embodying the state of your wish fulfilled in every aspect of your life. And here's a crucial point. Even as you take inspired action, do not fall into the trap of thinking that these actions are the cause of your manifestation. The cause is always your assumption, your state of consciousness. The actions are simply the bridge of incidents that your subconscious mind constructs to lead you to the fulfillment. So please keep going. Keep assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. Keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly close to the manifestation of your desire. The only thing standing between you and your desire is your assumption of separation from it. Drop that assumption, and you will find that what you seek has been seeking you all along. Now, let me share with you another powerful technique to help you persist in your assumption, to keep going when the world of Caesar seems to contradict your desire. It's a technique I call revision, and it's a way of rewriting your past to align with your desired future. You see, many of us carry the weight of past failures, disappointments, and negative experiences. These memories can act as barriers, preventing us from fully assuming the state of our wish fulfilled. But here's the truth. The past only exists in your memory. And memory, my dear friends, is imagination applied to the past. Just as you can imagine a desired future, you can reimagine your past. And in doing so, you can remove the mental blocks that stand between you and your desire. Here's how it works. Each night, before you sleep, review the events of your day. But instead of accepting them as they appear to happen, revise them. Reimagine them in a way that aligns with your desire, with the person you want to be. If someone was rude to you, revise the scene. Imagine them being kind and respectful. If you made a mistake at work, revise it. See yourself performing flawlessly. If you received bad news, revise it. Hear yourself receiving good news instead. This is not about denying reality or living in fantasy. It's about understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And by changing your inner world, your memorials, your assumptions, your self-concept, you change the reflection. As you practice revision consistently, you'll find that your past no longer has power over you. You'll be free to fully assume the state of your wish fulfilled without the weight of past failures holding you back. And remember, you're revising not just for a better feeling, but to impress upon your subconscious mind a new concept of self, a new pattern that it must express in your future experiences. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, this all sounds too good to be true. Surely it can't be this simple, and to you I say it is this simple. But that doesn't mean it's always easy. The simplicity of the law often becomes a stumbling block for those who are used to struggle and complexity. You see, we've been conditioned to believe that anything worthwhile must be difficult to attain. We've been taught that success requires hard work, sacrifice, and often a bit of luck. But I tell you this, the only hard work required is the work of changing your assumptions, of disciplining your mind to consistently assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This inner work, this mental discipline, can indeed be challenging. It requires vigilance, persistence, and faith. But compared to the endless struggle of trying to change the outer world without first changing your inner world, it is infinitely easier and more effective. So please keep going. Keep doing this inner work. Keep assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, for you are so close, so incredibly close to the tipping point, to the moment when your assumption becomes your reality. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Every breath is a chance to live from the end. Don't wait for the perfect moment, for the stars to align, for all conditions to be favorable. The perfect moment is now. The power is within you always. Now, let me address another common concern. Many of you may be wondering, but Neville, what if I have multiple desires? Should I focus on one at a time, or can I manifest multiple things simultaneously? To this I say you are not limited in your ability to manifest. The power of your wonderful human imagination is infinite. Just as the sun shines on all things equally without diminishing its light, so too can you assume the fulfillment of multiple desires without diluting your creative power. The key is to understand that all your desires, no matter how varied they may seem, stem from one fundamental desire. The desire to experience a greater expression of your true self. Whether you desire love, wealth, health, or success, what you're really seeking is a fuller expression of who you truly are. So instead of thinking of your desires as separate goals to be achieved, think of them as different aspects of what and ideal self it assumes. Create in your imagination a version of yourself that embodies all these desires fulfilled. See yourself as the person who has the loving relationship, the financial abundance, the vibrant health, the successful career. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the peace that comes from being this ideal version of yourself. Make this your new self-concept. Live from this state, and you will find that all your desires begin to manifest, not as separate achievements, but as natural expressions of who you have become. Remember, the outer world is always a reflection of your inner state. As you assume this new ideal self-concept, your outer world must rearrange itself to match this inner reality. It has no choice. It is law. Now, I want to address a question that often arises when one begins to understand the power of their imagination. Many ask, but Neville, if my imagination creates reality, why do bad things happen? Why is there suffering in the world? This is a profound question, and it touches on the very nature of our existence. You see, the power of imagination is indeed absolute, but it operates according to our assumptions and beliefs, both conscious and unconscious. Many of us, without realizing it, hold beliefs of limitation, lack, and separation. We accept as reality a world of conflict, scarcity, and suffering. And in doing so, we perpetuate these conditions. But here's the liberating truth. Just as we have imagined these conditions of being, we can imagine them out of existence. The suffering we see in the world is not a fixed, unchangeable reality. It is a shadow, a reflection of humanity's collective assumptions and beliefs. As you awaken to the power of your imagination, as you begin to consciously create your reality, you become a beacon of light in this world. Your own transformation, your own shift from limitation to abundance, from fear to love, has a ripple effect that goes far beyond your individual life. So please keep going, not just for yourself, but for all of humanity. As you persist in assuming the state of your wish fulfilled As you continue to live from the end, you are contributing to a collective shift in consciousness. You are playing your part in creating a world that reflects the highest and best in all of us. Remember, you're so close to fully realizing your power as a creative being, so close to stepping into the fullness of who you truly are, so close to becoming a conscious co-creator of your reality. Now, let me share with you one more powerful concept that will help you persist in your assumption, that will give you the strength to keep going, even when the outer world seems to contradict your desire. It's the concept of the Sabbath. In the biblical tradition, the Sabbath is a day of rest, a day when all work ceases. But in the context of conscious creation, the Sabbath takes on a deeper meaning. It represents a state of mind, a state of complete assurance and peace, knowing that your desire is already fulfilled. You enter the Sabbath when you no longer feel the need to do anything to achieve your desire, when you can completely let go, knowing with absolute certainty that what you've imagined is already done. This is the ultimate act of faith, the purest expression of living in the end. Entering the Sabbath doesn't mean you stop taking inspired action in your daily life. It means you stop striving. You stop trying to make your desire happen through force of will. You simply rest in the knowledge that it is done, allowing the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind to bring about the manifestation in the most perfect way. This state of Sabbath, of complete rest and assurance, is the most powerful state you can assume. For in this state, you are fully aligned with the creative power of the universe. You are one with the source of all manifestation. So I urge you, enter the Sabbath. Rest from your labors. Know that your desire is already fulfilled. Feel the peace, the joy, the absolute certainty of this knowing. And from this state of complete assurance, watch as your outer world transforms to match your inner conviction. My dear friends, as we draw this discourse to a close, I want to remind you once more, please keep going. You're so close. Closer than you can possibly imagine to the realization of your desires, to the full expression of your true self, to the creation of a life beyond your wildest dreams. Remember, the power is within you. It always has been, and it always will be. Your wonderful human imagination is the very workshop of creation. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, use it persistently. For as you assume, so shall it be. Go forth now with this knowledge burning brightly in your heart. Live from the end, persist in your assumption. Enter the Sabbath of complete assurance, and know with every fiber of your being that your desire is already fulfilled, that you are already the person you wish to be, that you already have everything you seek. For in truth, there is no separation between you and your desire. There never was. The only separation was in your mind, in your assumption. And now that you know the truth, now that you understand the power of your imagination, that separation dissolves. So please keep going, keep assuming, keep believing, keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly close to the full realization of your power, to the complete manifestation of your desires, to the perfect expression of your true self. And in this realization, in this manifestation, in this expression, you will find not just the fulfillment of your individual desires, but the key to transforming our entire world. For as you change your concept of self, as you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a living example of what's possible. You become a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope and possibility for all who cross your path. So go forth, my dear friends, with this knowledge, with this power, with this responsibility. Keep going, for you are so close. So close to becoming who you truly are. So close to creating the life you desire. So close to changing the world through the power of your imagination. Remember, it is done. It is finished. Your desire is already fulfilled in the realm of pure potential. Your only task now is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live from the end, to enter the Sabbath of complete assurance. Do this, persist in this, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. For you are the operant power. You are the creative force. You are the God in action, creating your reality moment by moment through the power of your assumptions. Embrace this truth, live this truth, become this truth. And so, my beloved listeners, I leave you with these final words. Please keep going. You're so close. The fulfillment of your desires, the realization of your dreams, the expression of your true self, it's all right there waiting for you to claim it. Step into it now with faith, with conviction, with the absolute knowing that it is already yours. For in the end, and in the beginning, and in every moment in between, you are the creator of your reality. You are the author of your story. You are the master of your fate. So write boldly, create fearlessly, and live fully from the state of your wish fulfilled. Keep going, for you are so close, so incredibly, wonderfully, miraculously close. The life you desire is not a distant dream, it is your present reality, waiting for you to fully step into it. So step now, leap now. Embrace now the truth of who you are and what you're capable of creating. For in this moment, and in every moment, you are unlimited, unbounded, infinite in your potential. You are the power you seek, the love you desire, the abundance you crave. It's all within you, always has been, always will be. So please keep going, for you are so close to the full realization of your divine nature, so close to the complete expression of your infinite potential, so close to the perfect manifestation of your heart's deepest desires. Keep going, for in your persistence lies your power. In your assumption lies your achievement. In your imagination lies your infinite potential. You are so close, closer than you've ever been, closer than you can possibly imagine. The fulfillment of your desires is not a distant goal. It is your present reality. Step into it now. Embrace it now. Live from it now. For you are the creator, the created, and the very act of creation itself. In you, all things are possible. Through you, all dreams come true. As you, all desires are fulfilled. So please keep going. You're so close, so incredibly, miraculously, wonderfully close. The life you desire is not waiting for you in some distant future. It is here now, waiting for you to claim it. Claim it now. Live it now. Be it now. For you are so close to the full realization of your power, so close to the complete manifestation of your desires, so close to the perfect expression of your true self. Keep going. Keep believing. Keep assuming. Keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly, unimaginably close. And in this closeness, in this proximity to your fulfilled desire, you will find not just the realization of your individual dreams, but the key to transforming our entire world. For as you step into the fullness of who you truly are, as you fully embody the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a living testament to the power that lies within each and every one of us. So please keep going, for you are so close to becoming the change you wish to see in the world, so close to inspiring others through your own transformation, so close to creating a ripple effect of positive change that will touch countless lives. Remember, the power is within you. It always has been, and it always will be. Your wonderful human imagination is the very workshop of creation. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, use it persistently. For as you assume, so shall it be. Go forth now with this knowledge burning brightly in your heart. Live from the end, persist in your assumption, enter the Sabbath of complete assurance, and know with every fiber of your being that your desire is already fulfilled, that you are already the person you wish to be, that you already have everything you seek. For in truth, there is no separation between you and your desire. There never was. The only separation was in your mind, in your assumption. And now that you know the truth, now that you understand the power of your imagination, that separation dissolves. So please keep going, keep assuming, keep believing, keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly close to the full realization of your power, to the complete manifestation of your desires, to the perfect expression of your true self. And in this realization, in this manifestation, in this expression, you will find not just the fulfillment of your individual desires, but the key to transforming our entire world. For as you change your concept of self, as you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a living example of what's possible. You become a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope and possibility for all who cross your path. So go forth, my dear friends, with this knowledge, with this power, with this responsibility. Keep going, for you are so close to becoming who you truly are, so close to creating the life you desire, so close to changing the world through the power of your imagination.
God said, "It is all planned for the start of May, not a moment late, not a second early. What you call coincidence, he calls design. What you feel as delay, he declares as precision. This is not the time to question or doubt. This is the time to assume the end is already done. It's already set, it's already yours. The pattern of your life is written in the invisible. The change you seek, the breakthrough you wait for, the open door you cry out for, it was never up to the outer world. It was always within. The moment you accept that it's all prepared, all orchestrated, all timed, then your inner vision becomes your only authority. It's not about what the senses say. The senses lie. They report the past, not the truth. But the imagination, the inner eye, that sees the promise, that knows the word, that hears God say, May, start of May, not someday, but a divine schedule sealed in the invisible. So now assume it, walk in it, feel it real, carry yourself as the one who has already received. Do not beg, do not wait, do not plead for what is already finished. Instead, know. Know in stillness, know in silence, know in certainty, that what God has said no man can undo. If it is planned, it is finished. If it is spoken, it is settled. You are not waiting on God. You are awakening to what He has already completed. All things are prepared and the signal is set. The world around you may offer no sign, but the word within you has already gone ahead. That's where your eyes must remain, within. Feel the new beginning that's rising, the movement, the shift, the sudden manifestation. It starts when you see it in spirit. Not when, but not later, but live. Let them doubt, let them question, let them talk. But you stand still in the knowing. God said may. That's not a wish, that's a decree. The time is charged with purpose. The air is full of fulfillment. The old is crumbling, the new is breaking forth. Do not ask how, just enter the state of already done, the state of divine timing, the state where you and the promise are one. Because God's calendar does not miss. God's voice does not echo. He speaks, and it is. He declares, and it becomes. And now He has said, it's all planned for the start of May. So walk as one who remembers what has already been completed. Assume the scene, accept the word, and live as if it's unfolding, because it already has. It is already unfolding, quietly, invisibly, like a seed breaking through the soil long before anyone sees the sprout. But in the unseen realm it is done. You must understand. The moment you heard that whisper in your spirit, the start of May, that was not a suggestion. That was not a vague hope. That was a spiritual announcement, a signal that reality is bending to a divine instruction. And what you've been holding in consciousness, nurturing with your faith, feeding with your inner speech, is now pressing forward into visibility. You are not the old version of yourself. You are not the one who waits in fear, who checks the winds for signs, who looks to people for confirmation. No, when God speaks to your spirit, you don't consult appearances. You consult the word. And what has He said? That it's all planned. That everything has been moving toward this moment. That your delays were not denials but divine arrangements, that the people, the places, the doors, they are all being positioned to honor the script that heaven wrote for your life. You must walk now not as one who hopes but as one who remembers. That's the key. This is not a walk of guessing. This is the walk of memory, not of the past but of the divine future already created. The God in you knows. The Spirit in you knows. It has seen what your eyes have not yet seen. And it is calling you to act from that knowing, to think from the end, to dwell in the assumption that it is done. How do you prepare for something that is already yours? You don't prepare with panic or striving. You prepare with alignment, with quiet confidence, with inner calm that says, I know what's coming because I saw it when I closed my eyes. You are not reacting to the world anymore. You are commanding it by dwelling in the finished work. This is not a season to beg. It is a season to embody. Become the one who has received. When you embody the thing hoped for, it must obey, it must come. The world cannot resist the pull of a soul that has fully assumed its place in the divine story. When you sit in the energy of already done, you send a signal into the world of form, and the forms begin to shift. The people call, the doors swing, the money moves, the silence breaks. Not because you forced it. This is how God works. Not through the chaos of the outer, but through the stillness of the inner. Through certainty. Through divine order. That is why He spoke to you. Not to tease you, not to frustrate you, but to show you the next chapter that's already written. If He said it's all planned for the start of May, then nothing can stop it. Not the economy, not their opinions, not your past, not your doubt, or your detours. The plan is older than the problem. The promise is louder than the delay. Let the old fears rise if they must, but you do not have to entertain them. You are not bound to the cycle of doubt. You are governed by the rhythm of grace. Let the mind question. It will always try to calculate, to measure, to predict. But the mind is not the master here. The Spirit is. The Spirit knows what the intellect cannot. The Spirit knows what the news will never tell you. The Spirit knows that the instruction was real, that the timeline was divine, that the date is not arbitrary. May is not just a month, it is a signal, a vibration, a portal. You are stepping into a space where time obeys your inner state. That's what faith is, not belief in a distant future, but identification with the already manifested. Feel what you've prayed for as if it's breathing through you right now. Hear the conversations, see the breakthrough, sense the freedom. The moment you do, the veil begins to thin and reality begins to comply. Everything is being rearranged to meet you at the level of your assumption. This is not magic, this is law. Spiritual law that bends time and matter around the focused energy of belief. That's why you must stay anchored. The storm may try to shake you, but your knowing must stay rooted. There will be moments when the old voice creeps back in, the one that says, "What if it doesn't happen? What if nothing changes?" But you must answer back with your own divine memory, "It already has. I'm just catching up to it." You must learn to feel the tone of God's voice. When He speaks in your spirit, it is not suggestion. It is structure, a blueprint, a reality already established in the invisible. When He whispered the start of May, He was not speaking to your calendar. He was speaking to your consciousness. He was saying, hold the line. Stay in the vision. Don't waver, no matter how still it looks. The silence before manifestation is sacred. It's the echo of alignment. It's the tension of labor before the birth. You must not misread it as stagnation. You must not label it as failure. It is the in-between, the place where your old life is shedding and your new one is stretching into form. Be gentle with yourself in this place. Do not try to force it. You are not here to perform. You are here to remember, to receive, to become. Everything is already accounted for. Every detail, every resource, every person who will say yes, every opportunity that will appear out of nowhere. It's already on its way, not because you earned it, but because you aligned with it. Grace does not require effort, it requires permission. Give yourself permission to receive. Give yourself permission to live in the fullness of what was promised. Your job is not to make it happen. Your job is to become the one who knows it has. That means speaking from it, walking in it, thinking as it, breathing as it. Let your inner talk reflect the truth you've seen. Let your imagination be saturated in the scene already fulfilled. See it every morning before your eyes open. Rehearse it in the silence of the night. Because the more real it becomes within, the faster it materializes without. You are not behind, you are not late, you are in rhythm, you are in sync with the divine unfolding. Time is not your enemy. Delay is not your punishment. Everything is unfolding in perfect harmony with the voice you heard. That voice did not lie. That whisper was real. And your only work now is to walk in that knowing, unshaken by the noise. The start of May is not just a date. It is a doorway, a release, a divine moment where what was hidden begins to show, what was promised begins to rise. You may not understand the timing, but you are not asked to understand. You are asked to trust, to surrender to the timing that knows more than your logic ever could. Even now, as you hear these words, something in you is awakening, not because these words are new, but because your spirit already knew. This is not information, this is confirmation. Something is being quickened in you, a deeper trust, a stronger faith, a holy boldness that refuses to bow to appearances. You are not waiting for permission. You are not waiting for proof. You are standing in what you have seen. And when you stand in what you've seen, the world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match. That is the secret. The outer must follow the inner. The shadow must follow the light. The result must follow the assumption. It cannot be otherwise. This is the way of spirit. This is the way of manifestation. This is the way of God. He did not give you a vague hope. He gave you a date, a window, a spiritual moment encoded with divine orchestration. Your part is to agree with it, to stay in it, to become it. And that, beloved, is more powerful than anything that could ever happen outside you. Because when the word lives in you, really lives in you, it cannot return void. It must accomplish what it was sent to do. So carry it with reverence, carry it with power, carry it with joy. Not because you are trying to make something happen, but because it already has. May is not coming, May is here. And with it, so is everything God whispered, everything you've seen in the Spirit, everything you felt in the quiet moments, everything you dared to believe, even when it looked impossible. Now is the moment to walk as the one who has received. Let your words match your promise. Let your thoughts mirror the vision. Let your emotions celebrate the outcome. Because the plan is not in process. It is in fulfillment. The signal was sent. The door is opening. And the moment has arrived. Do not ask if it's working. Know that it is. Do not scan the horizon for evidence. Feel the evidence in your being. The world you see outside is always lagging behind the world you accept within. That is the divine delay, the sacred gap between assumption and manifestation. But it is not a punishment, it is a mirror being polished. The moment you become convinced of your promise within, the mirror reflects it without. This is why you must keep your inner world sacred, guarded, unshaken. You are the one carrying the vision, not the world, not your friends, not even the people closest to you. You heard the voice, you felt the shift, you caught the signal that something has been divinely arranged, and because you received that word, you must now live as the embodiment of it. Even if no one else sees it, even if the noise around you grows louder, even if the days leading up to the start of May seem ordinary, uneventful, still, do not be deceived. God is always silent in the most powerful moments of creation. He does not need to explain. He does not need to repeat himself. He speaks once, and eternity responds. Hold that word like sacred fire. Tend to it like a flame that cannot go out. It is not your job to light the whole forest. You only need to keep your flame burning. That flame is the evidence of what's coming. The promise already lives in you. The blessing is not something you are hoping for. It is something you are revealing. And every moment you dwell in the reality of already done, you become more magnetic to the outcome that is already yours. There is a great stillness that surrounds divine timing, not the stillness of nothingness, but the stillness of certainty. Like the moment before the dawn, where the whole earth holds its breath, knowing the sun must rise. You are in that moment, the moment before the sun breaks through, the moment where the world may seem asleep, but heaven is fully awake and in motion. You have stepped into a prepared place, the divine setup, and everything you need is already positioned, already aligned, already waiting for your awareness to meet it. So let your awareness be clean. Let it be focused. Let it be sharp as light. Do not entertain the shadows of fear, even if they dance before you. They hold no power unless you feed them. Instead, feed the vision. Nourish the reality that has already been spoken over you. Let your imagination be full of it. Let your inner conversations reflect the truth that it is done. Because your imagination is not fantasy, it is the blueprint of creation. It is the first birthing place of reality. And if God placed it in your spirit, then it already exists. Not someday, not maybe, but now. Already alive in the invisible, already pulsing with the breath of fulfillment. You do not need to create it. You only need to receive it, accept it, identify with it. Become so one with the promise that separation is impossible. Walk in the room as the one who has already received. Speak from the position of fulfillment. Think only from the posture of already done. That is your only work now, to stay in the assumption until it becomes substance. The world will try to distract you with timelines, with appearances, with opinions. But you are not here to be a reactor. You are a creator, a spiritual being navigating a physical world, never forgetting that the physical always bends to the spiritual. The invisible always governs the visible. That is the hierarchy of creation. That is the truth you must stand on. And the truth is, it's already done, already planned, already timed, already spoken. The shift is not coming to you, you are coming into alignment with it, like tuning into a frequency that was always broadcasting, but now your spirit is clear enough to receive the signal without interference. That is the clarity of May. That is the power of the divine word. It doesn't just promise, it positions. It doesn't just inspire, it transforms. When you assume the end, you collapse the distance between yourself and the blessing. Time falls, matter shifts, the path clears, the obstacle becomes the testimony. You look back and realize it all had to happen just the way it did, not to hurt you, but to guide you. Not to delay you, but to prepare you. Every no was a redirection to the higher yes. Every silence was a deeper call to listen within. And now, as you enter this moment with your full awareness, the seed becomes the harvest. The voice that said it's all planned for the start of May was not speaking to your mind. It was speaking to your identity. It was calling you to rise, to step into the version of yourself that already holds the miracle, already lives the testimony, already breathes the promise. So you must ask yourself now, not will it happen, but am I ready to receive what has already happened in the Spirit? That's the real question. Are you willing to live as if the prayer has already been answered? Are you willing to drop the old identity and wear the new one without apology? This is where faith becomes embodiment, where you don't just believe, you become. You dress the part, you speak the part, you think like one who no longer waits. Because in the realm of God, waiting is just a misalignment with what already is. And now you are aligned. You've heard the instruction, you've received the word, and you're moving as one who remembers, not one who hopes. This is your time to walk as the fulfilled version of yourself, to dwell in the end so fully that the middle must obey, to embody the joy before the evidence, to wear the peace before the manifestation, because God's voice is final and His word is faithful. He is not a God of maybe. He is not a God of almost. He is a God of yes and amen. A God who speaks and seals, a God who plans and performs. So let your mind be still, let your heart be firm, let your energy match the vision. The start of May is not a hope, it is a divine appointment. You've been walking toward it all along, even when you didn't see it, even when the terrain was rough, even when the waiting hurt. Every step has brought you closer to what was always prepared. The delay was never a denial. It was God's way of shaping you to hold the blessing without breaking. And now you are ready, ready to receive without resistance, ready to live without fear, ready to become without apology. The inner you has already crossed over. The outer must now follow. And you don't need to chase anything. The blessing is not running, it's waiting. Waiting for you to step fully into the posture of fulfillment. Waiting for you to take your eyes off the clock and place them back on the vision. Waiting for you to rise with no doubt, no hesitation, no turning back. This is what God has planned. Not just a moment, but a movement. Not just an event, but a shift. A divine turning, where the unseen becomes seen, where the delay turns to display, where the old version of you fades and the true one emerges, fully clothed in light. You will not have to explain. The evidence will speak. You will not have to defend. The fruit will testify. So stay in the frequency of already done. Let no fear dilute your atmosphere. Let no voice distract you from what was spoken. When God said it's all planned, He meant it. Nothing is missing, nothing is broken. The plan includes the people, the path, the provision, the peace, and it is said to be revealed, not made, but revealed at the start of May. All you need to do is keep assuming, keep believing, keep being the one who already knows. Let that knowing be your power. Let that knowing be your protection. Let that knowing be your peace when things still look still. Because knowing is stronger than seeing. And when your knowing is rooted in the word becomes flesh. The promise becomes presence. The vision becomes your new normal. It's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of holding the state until time catches up. And time is catching up now. The start of May is not waiting, it's here, it has arrived. And with it, so has everything God whispered, everything He confirmed in the quiet moments. Everything you dared to believe when it looked like nothing was changing. But it was always changing, within the realm where spirit shapes the world. So hold fast, stay still, stay aligned. Let your spirit lead, let your mind be quiet, let your heart remain soft, and let the reality unfold, just as it was always meant to. Because when God said it's all planned for the start of May, He wasn't offering a forecast, He was delivering a fact. And that fact is already moving, already blooming, already here. And now, as you stand on the threshold of the promise, remember this: you were never waiting on the blessing. The blessing was waiting on you, waiting on your full agreement, waiting on your identity to align, waiting on your spirit to rise and say, I am ready now. Not ready to strive, not ready to chase, but ready to receive. For what God has planned cannot be undone, delayed, or denied, not by time, not by people, not by circumstance. The instruction was clear, the timing was precise, the word was spoken, and you, yes you, were chosen to carry it, to believe it when it looked impossible, to hold it when everything told you to let go. You have passed through the silence, through the shaping, through the sacred preparation, and now, as May unfolds, so too does the manifestation of everything heaven whispered to your soul. Walk forward not as a seeker, but as one who has found. Live not from hope, but from fulfillment. Speak not from longing, but from gratitude. Because it's here, it's yours, it's done. May is not coming, it has come. And with it, the unveiling of everything ordained for you. Let the world see not just what God has done for you, but who you have become in Him. A living testimony of divine timing, perfect orchestration, and unwavering faith. The plan has met the moment, and the moment is now. This is the moment your spirit recognized before your mind could catch up. The moment your prayers, your visions, your quiet endurance all pointed to. You are not entering May as the same person who began the journey. You are walking in transformed, awakened, crowned with the evidence of what you held in faith. The struggle, the waiting, the pressing, none of it was wasted. Every invisible movement has led to this divine unfolding. You are no longer in the space of asking, you are in the space of becoming. You don't need more signs. You don't need more confirmation. The word is enough. The voice that whispered, "It's all planned," has never failed. And now creation bends to that voice. Time bows to that voice, and everything that once resisted must yield to the authority of the one who declared it finished from the beginning. So walk forward with clarity, with boldness, with peace. Don't shrink, don't second guess, don't reach back for what you've outgrown. You have crossed a threshold in spirit, and all of heaven has moved to honor it. Let your life speak now. Let your presence testify. Let your peace be the loudest proof of what you know within, that everything has arrived right on time. And when you open your eyes each morning this month, say not, "Will it be today?" but "It is today." This is the season where the unseen becomes seen. This is the moment where you watch it all unfold, just as he said it would. You are the creator of your reality, and everything you experience in this world is a product of your own assumption. Nothing exists outside of you that has the power to define who you are, except for the thoughts and beliefs that you choose to hold. The world you see, the circumstances that surround you, and the people you meet are not separate from you. They are all reflections of the inner workings of your mind. Your consciousness is the fabric from which all things are made, and it is through your awareness that you bring the unseen into the visible world. The universe does not respond to force, to struggle, or to effort. It responds only to the quiet power of your thoughts, the power of your assumptions, and the power of your beliefs. If you can change what you believe, if you can alter the assumptions you hold about yourself and your life, you will change your world. The only true law that governs all things is the law of assumption. What you assume to be true becomes true in your experience. If you believe that life is a struggle, it will be a struggle. If you believe that abundance is yours, then it must be yours. If you assume that you are worthy, deserving, and capable of all the good things you desire, then your life will unfold in perfect harmony with that assumption. But it is not enough to wish for change. You must live as though the change has already occurred. You must walk through life with the understanding that you are already the person you wish to become. The key to transformation lies in embodying the state of being that you wish to experience. You do not have to wait for the world to change before you change. The world changes when you change your state of being. When you see yourself as whole, complete, and perfect in every way, that is how you will experience the world. It is not the world that dictates who you are, it is you who dictates what the world will be. Your assumptions are the lens through which you view reality. If you see a world of lack, limitation, and struggle, it is because that is the assumption you are holding. If you see a world of abundance, love, and opportunity, it is because you have assumed that is the nature of reality. The world will always conform to your assumptions, no matter how absurd they may seem at first. The moment you assume a new reality, that new reality begins to take shape and become evident in your experience. The process is not magical, it is natural. The law of assumption is as certain as the law of gravity. We are living in a world where most people have been taught to look outside of themselves for answers, to seek validation from others, and to believe that their circumstances define their worth. This is the great illusion. Your worth is not determined by anything outside of you. It is determined by your inner state. by your awareness of your own divine power. The moment you recognize that you are the master of your own destiny, that you have the power to shape your reality, you will begin to experience a new kind of freedom. Freedom from the limitations of time, space, and circumstance. Freedom from the constraints of the past. Freedom from the chains of doubt and fear. When you begin to assume the reality that you desire, the entire universe conspires to bring it into being. The people, the events, the opportunities, and the resources that you need will begin to align themselves with your inner vision. You are the master of your fate, the creator of your experience. You do not have to fight, struggle, or compete for what is already yours. You must only assume that it is yours, and it will come to you in perfect divine timing. There are no obstacles in the universe except for the ones you place in your own mind. The only limitations you experience are those that you believe to be true. Once you recognize that there is no force greater than your own consciousness, you will understand that nothing is impossible. Every limitation is self-imposed. You are not bound by the past, the present, or the future. Time is but a concept, a construct of the mind. You have the power to transcend time, to go beyond the limitations that have been placed upon you. When you believe in your ability to shape your own reality, time bends to your will, and you can experience everything you desire as though it has already happened. The first step to manifesting your desires is to assume that they are already yours. When you pray, when you speak your desires into existence, do so with the absolute certainty that it is already done. Do not wait for external circumstances to change before you believe. Your belief creates the circumstances, not the other way around. The world is not waiting for you to be ready. It is waiting for you to recognize the power within you. It is waiting for you to claim your divinity, to claim your sovereignty over your own life. Do not doubt for a moment that you are worthy of the life you desire. Your worth is inherent. It is not something you must earn, achieve, or prove. You are worthy because you exist. The divine spark within you is the source of all creation. When you recognize this truth, you will no longer settle for less than what you truly desire. You will no longer allow the world to dictate your limitations. You will stand in the power of your own being, knowing that you are a limitless creator. When you begin to live from this place of inner knowing, the world will shift to meet you. People will be drawn to you, opportunities will arise, and the things you once thought were out of reach will come to you with ease. You will no longer struggle, because you will understand that you are not working to make things happen. You are simply aligning with the flow of divine abundance that is always available to you. You are no longer a passive participant in your life. You are an active creator. The key is to remain steadfast in your assumptions. Do not let the appearance of things fool you. The world is malleable, and it responds to your thoughts. If you assume that your desires are already yours, you will see evidence of that assumption in the world around you. If you hold the belief that you are wealthy, healthy, loved, and successful, those things will begin to manifest in your experience. Your external world is a reflection of your internal state. Change your inner state, and the outer world must change to match it. There will be moments when doubt tries to creep in, when the world appears to be stubbornly resistant to your assumptions. But remember, the world is not the source of your power. You are. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Your beliefs are the builders of your world. When you encounter resistance, simply reaffirm your assumption. Do not give in to the temptation to see the world as it appears. See it as you desire it to be, and the world will eventually align with that vision. This is the nature of consciousness. It is always becoming. You are always becoming, and your life is the result of what you have assumed about yourself and the world. You do not need to strive or struggle to create change. You only need to assume the change you desire, and it will become manifest. The world does not operate on the basis of hard work or effort. It operates on the principle of assumption. Assume the reality you wish to experience, and it will unfold naturally, effortlessly, and in perfect divine timing. To understand this, you are the creator of your reality. The world is not shaping you, you are shaping the world. Everything that comes into your experience is a result of your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions. You have the power to change anything in your life by changing your assumptions about it. Your life is your creation. If you do not like what you see, change the way you are seeing it. If you do not like what you are experiencing, change the assumptions you are holding. The moment you shift your consciousness, the world shifts with you. There is no limit to what you can create, because there is no limit to the power within you. Do not wait for the world to change first. Change your assumptions and the world will follow. The only reality that is real is the one you create in your own mind. Everything you desire is already yours. Claim it now and see the world unfold in ways you never thought possible. The power is yours. The world is yours. You are the creator, and your life is a masterpiece waiting to be painted. Take the brush in your hand and create the life you truly desire. Let your imagination be the soil in which the seeds of your desires are planted. Do not merely observe the world around you. Enter into the world within you, where all things are born. That invisible world, though unseen by the physical eye, is more real than what you now call reality. Your senses will try to convince you otherwise, but they are only echoing your former assumptions. They report only what you have formerly believed to be true. Now, when you shift your assumption, when you dare to persist in a new belief, your senses will yield. They must, for the senses are servants, not masters. The imagination is the doorway through which your desires become tangible. You are not a victim of what you observe, you are the origin of it. All change begins within. And it begins with the decision to believe differently, to see differently, to feel differently. You must feel the reality of the wish fulfilled. You must make it real in your imagination before it becomes real in your life. And once you have seen it within, you must live as though it is already so, regardless of the evidence around you. For faith is loyalty to the unseen reality, and it is that loyalty that calls it into manifestation. You will be tempted to return to the old story, to respond to appearances as if they have power over you. But appearances are shadows of past thoughts. They are not causative. They are echoes, not songs. They are ripples, not stones. The moment you claim a new identity, a new story, a new state of being, you begin the process of resurrection. You raise the dead assumptions to life and watch as they shape the world around you. It is not arrogance to claim what is yours by divine right. It is obedience to truth. The truth that you are what you assume yourself to be, and that you become what you persist in believing. Do not ask how it will come. The how is not your concern. The bridge of incidents that will lead you to the fulfillment of your desire is already prepared. You do not need to construct it with effort or force. Your only task is to dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled. Feel it real, know that it is done, and then allow the natural flow of life to carry you from scene to scene, moment to moment, until you stand fully in the reality you once imagined. The imagination is the womb of creation. What you feel within it will be born into time. You are not waiting for it to happen. You are walking toward the manifestation that has already been decreed by your inner world. And yes, there will be days when the old thoughts try to pull you back, when the weight of past conditioning presses upon your mind. But remember, you are not your past. You are not bound to repeat what has been. You are free. Every moment is a fresh canvas. Every breath is an opportunity to assume something new. Persist. Do not let the outer world tell you what is possible. Let your inner conviction speak louder than the noise of the world. Such as Shaohojis. You have been given dominion over your life, not because of your effort, but because of your nature. You are divine consciousness individualized. There is no power outside of your own consciousness. No fate, no destiny, no external authority can override the power that lies within you. The only thing required is your willingness to believe, not in wishful thinking, but in deliberate, sustained assumption. To dwell in the end is to enter into the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. It is to move your attention away from what is and to rest it firmly upon what you desire to be. And the moment you do this, a shift occurs. It may be invisible at first, subtle, unspoken, but it is a shift in the foundation of your being. And the world must follow. Let your desire be holy, let it be sacred. Do not judge it by the standards of others. Do not question whether you are worthy of it. You are. The very desire you feel is evidence that its fulfillment already exists. You would not hunger unless the food already existed. You would not thirst unless the water already was. So too with your desire. It comes because its fulfillment is present within your own consciousness. It is calling you to a higher state, to a greater expression of your true self. Do not suppress it, embrace it, live from it. You are not becoming, you are revealing. What you assume is not a fiction you hope to believe in someday. It is the truth that has been hidden beneath layers of doubt, fear, and forgetfulness. To assume is to remember, to step into the awareness of your divine identity, and in this remembrance you reclaim your world. You walk into rooms with authority. You move through life not as one who begs, but as one who declares. For what you declare within will soon echo without. There is a power in stillness, in quiet, unseen moments of inner certainty. Do not underestimate the silence. When you sit in the silence of your imagination and assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are doing more than visualizing. You are planting reality. The outer world moves because the inner world has spoken. You do not need to beg for change. You command it by changing your inner state. And you do not command with force, but with assumption, with the gentle, unwavering knowing that it is already done. Allow yourself to feel it now. Not tomorrow, not once you see the evidence. Now. Feel what it would feel like if your desire were fulfilled. Let that feeling wash over you. Let it saturate your mind, your body, your spirit. Let it become your natural dwelling place. And the more you return to it, the more familiar it becomes, until one day you no longer feel like you are imagining it. You feel like you are remembering it. That is when the world begins to bend. And you will notice something extraordinary. The world around you will shift in response. People will say different things. Opportunities will arise where none existed before. Obstacles will dissolve, not because you fought them, but because you outgrew them. You rose in consciousness, and the outer world had no choice but to reflect the inner elevation. You did not force it, you became it. Every desire carries its own fulfillment. The moment you accept the desire as yours, you have already received it in seed form. Now it is your task to nurture it with belief, to feed it with imagination, to water it with emotion, and to shield it from the weeds of doubt. Guard your mind as you would guard a sacred treasure, for it is from your mind that all things are born. Live now as the person who has received. Speak now as the one who knows it is done. Act now, not in desperation, but in faith. And when you forget, because you will, from time to time, gently return. Return to the end, return to the state of fulfillment. That is the center of your being. That is your home. You do not need permission to believe in a greater life. You do not need anyone's agreement. You only need your own consent. The moment you agree within, the world will begin to reflect that agreement. And it does not matter how long you have believed otherwise. A new assumption, truly accepted, has the power to dissolve the effects of a lifetime of disbelief. This is the miracle of consciousness. It is never bound by time. One new assumption can redeem years of doubt. One moment of inner certainty can alter the course of your entire existence. That is the gift you have been given. The power to change the world by changing your mind. So dwell in the end. Not as a visitor, but as a resident. Let the state of your desire become so natural, so familiar, that it feels strange to imagine life without it. And as you continue to assume, to feel, to live from the end, you will notice that life becomes more effortless, more joyful, more miraculous. Because you are no longer chasing what you desire, you are embodying it. And what you embody must come into form. That is the law, that is the truth. You are always in a state. You may not have called it that before, but every moment of your life you are dwelling in a particular state of consciousness. These states are not merely emotions or moods, they are entire realities. Entire outcomes, patterns, and possibilities are contained within each state. You cannot experience what is not in the state you occupy. If you are in the state of lack, the world will reflect lack. If you are in the state of abundance, then your life becomes a mirror of abundance. It does not matter what the world says is happening. What matters is the state you are in while you observe it. Because it is not the world that is doing something to you, it is you, through your state shaping the world. Your consciousness is infinite. You can shift from one state to another as easily as you change your thoughts. But many remain in states that no longer serve them because they continue to believe the lie that circumstances are fixed, that personality is fixed, that fate is final. Nothing is fixed. The only thing that appears permanent is what you continue to give attention to. If you shift your attention, if you redirect your focus inward and change your assumption, then all things must follow. But the change must be internal first. You cannot manipulate the outer world into changing. You must become the version of you who no longer needs the change, because the change has already occurred in consciousness. And when you do this consistently, a quiet confidence grows in you. Not the confidence that comes from ego or superiority, but the divine confidence that knows who it is and needs no permission to exist. This confidence does not waver when things seem slow. It does not shrink when the outer world looks unchanged. It is rooted in the truth that what has been accepted in imagination is already real. You do not wait for proof, you become the proof. And so you begin to think from the end. You begin to walk as the one who already possesses, already knows, already is. And this is not about pretending, it is about remembering your true identity, the one that is not swayed by circumstances, not limited by appearances. The more you return to the state of the wish fulfilled, the more natural it becomes, until eventually you no longer even call it a wish. It is simply your way of being. Every person, every situation, every condition you meet is an outpicturing of your state. You do not have to change them. You only need to change your own self-concept. What do you believe to be true about yourself, about life, about others? These are the silent assumptions that create your experience, and they are yours to revise. If you have believed something disempowering, you can believe differently now. You can rise into a new state, and the former things will fall away like shadows at sunrise. They have no life of their own. They only live through your focus. And so choose deliberately, choose boldly, choose with the authority of one who knows that life does not happen to them, it happens through them. And do not be afraid to assume greatly. Let your vision expand, let your desires be vast, not because they will make you more, but because they already reflect the more that you are. Your desires are not random, they are revelations of your potential, they are messages from the higher self, showing you what you are capable of embodying. Do not minimize them, do not explain them away, embrace them, live into them. It is your inner speech that determines the outcome. The conversations you have with yourself are more powerful than any action you can take. For what you consistently say to yourself becomes the mold through which your reality is poured. Speak to yourself as one who is already victorious. Declare to yourself that it is done. Refuse to argue for your limitations. Do not indulge in self-pity or replay old narratives of failure. They may feel familiar, but they are not true. What is true is what you decide now. Your assumptions need not be logical. They only need to be accepted. There is no virtue in trying to figure out how the impossible becomes possible. The greater wisdom is in knowing that what you assume and persist in must become fact. You do not have to bend the world to your will, you only need to bend your will to a new assumption. And in doing so, you bend the world without effort. For the outer world is always obedient to the inner. And as you begin to see evidence of your new state, remain humble. Not the humility of shrinking, but the humility of understanding that you did not achieve this through force. You allowed it by aligning with your higher self. You aligned with truth, and truth always manifests itself. The old life begins to dissolve, and the new life emerges, not because you earned it, but because you finally assumed it. You no longer ask, will it happen? You declare, it is happening, it is now, it is done. You must become one with the desire. There is no separation between you and that which you want, except for your own belief in the separation. The moment you stop desiring from a place of lack and begin to assume from a place of possession, you close the gap. The wish fulfilled is not something you chase, it is something you dwell in. Feel the joy now. Feel the peace now. Let it live in your body. Let it breathe through your words. Let it inform every action, every choice, every moment. For you are not becoming, you are remembering. You are realigning. What you seek is seeking you. What you imagine with love, with conviction, with confidence, must return to you in form. The process is not personal, it is principle. It does not reward some and withhold from others. It simply reflects. The world is a mirror, and you are the face. What you show it, it returns. So show it your strength, show it your wholeness, show it your worth. And when the moment comes, and it will, when your world has changed, when the thing you once imagined now stands before you in full detail, you will smile, not in surprise, but in recognition. You will know it not as a stranger, but as something familiar. For you saw it first within. You entertained it. You embraced it. You became it. And now it has become you. This is the way of all creation. Nothing begins on the outside. All things begin within. And so long as you hold fast to the state of the wish fulfilled, so long as you continue to imagine from the end, the world cannot help but conform. It must. It always does. There is no other law. There is no other truth. Remain faithful, then, to the vision within you. Return to it when doubts arise. Reaffirm it when the senses contradict it. Rejoice in it even before it appears, and let your faith be active, not passive. Let it be the daily assumption that your world is already new, already radiant, already whole. Because it is. And you, being one with the power that made all things, have the authority to speak it so. And so, let us now rest in the awareness that all we have ever sought already lives within us. The power to assume, to feel, to believe. This is the true creative force. You need not look to the world to give you signs, for you are the sign. You are the cause. As you dwell in the end, you rewrite your story, not through striving, but through silent knowing. You no longer chase the dream. You awaken to the truth that you are the dreamer, and the dream is yours to shape. Remain faithful to the unseen. Persist in the assumption. Feel it real. For the moment you do, the world will bend to match it. This is the secret of life. This is the mystery revealed. All is within, all is now, all is you.